Hello, 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 Cancers. My name is Jason, and you're watching Ray of Light Tarot. I had to stay on to do the Cancer video because I know you guys get frustrated. I had already done one Taurus, so to come on and do another Taurus when Cancer's coming up next, that was frustrating to some people. But you got to understand, guys, I go in order, but I have to, like, today it was Taurus. I know I just did a Taurus reading, but I had to do another one, and I have to go in order. So somebody just sent me a message like, why are you doing Taurus again when you're supposed to be doing Cancer? Well, got to do both. You got to do what comes through. And Taurus had another reading coming through. So you just have to kind of go with the flow, guys. That's the way it works, right? This isn't, a corporation. This is energy work. And if Taurus is calling to me twice in 1 week, I got to do Taurus. So it is what it is. Thank you, universe. Thank you, source. Thank you, spirit. Thank you, angels, archangels, spirit guides, and ancestors. Thank you for allowing me to connect today to the energy of Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and their soulmate. For those who are most in need of healing guidance at this time, thank you for the clear and direct messages and for gathering around and protecting my light, my energy, my vibration. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So here we go, Cancer. Thank you for your patience. I'm starting with, as usual, I'm going to start with the soulmate of Cancer and then move on to Cancer. This is typically, my readings are for the Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus of the sign. You have to go with this. These, when people ask questions about, well, what is it for? You've got to go with trust your own guidance, trust your own intuition on this. If you don't have that in your placements, but it's, say I don't know, your Mercury is in Cancer, whatever. But you feel like this is your reading, it's your reading. You have to trust that energy. But ultimately, these are usually going to be for strong soulmates, twin souls, divine counterparts type of thing. This isn't going to be for someone who, you're having a sex romp with, usually. Okay. I mean, it could be, but that's not usually the case. All right. What is the energy for the soulmate of Cancer, March 2020, guys? Show us, please. Por favor, s'il vous plaît. Soulmate of Cancer, March 2020. Soulmate of Cancer, March 2020. What's that? Something flipped. Seven of Cups. All right, what's the overall? Okay, soulmate of Cancer's overall energy is Queen of Swords. So if you're a Cancer and you're dealing with a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, that could be the reason that's coming out. Also, a lot of times that Queen of Swords energy, especially when it's coming out as like an overall or subtext energy, it's about someone sort of coming into an energy or needing to come into an energy of no nonsense, slice and dice things. So your soulmate Cancer may be in a place where they're kind of like not putting up with any BS in their life. They are wanting to communicate with you about something, but you may not be getting a lot of communication. You have the Eight of Wands in reverse behind this card. So there may be some, maybe you deserve to be ignored. I don't know. I don't feel that, but you never know, because the weird thing is the Queen of Swords energy is usually about communication, but they're doing the opposite. This person is not communicating. They're sort of holding back for some reason. Now, the Eight of Wands, whether it's reversed or not, it does to me speak about a need for movement, a need for communication. It's like a need to unclog a drain, right? I know that's not the best visual, but it is like that. It's like a drain needs to be unclogged. Please clarify this damn secret. I don't know what you're talking about. There's a need to unclog this drain so that communication can start flowing. So whatever that is, again, this person is like in an energy of kind of, it's like they're not putting up with any crap. They're being very sort of unwilling to put up with BS, but at the same time, there's something they want to communicate, and they're not communicating. Got the Hangman in reverse, so all of that's about to change. There's definitely like, it's like they're trying to start the car. It's just the engine, it's not turning over, okay? It's just like, it's not turning over, okay? The engine's not catching. So this person has definitely gained some type of insight or enlightenment. They've come to a point where they realize something. There's Pisces energy here, okay? So if you're a Cancer dealing with a Pisces, or there is strong Pisces around this energy, it could have to do with just a lot of dreams being unfulfilled in this connection. You know, Pisces is that dreamy energy, and we are in Pisces season, so that could be part of it. But it's like there's a lot of heartache and disappointment here. This has got the Seven of Cups, and in this deck, if you look at the Seven of Cups, Cancer, your soulmate is really missing that connection. You see the couple back there, that represents the connection with you, but all around is just like, it's like a land of broken dreams, broken promises, disappointment and heartbreak, and just not getting fulfillment. With the Ten of Wands here, this is, like I said, this energy of sort of no communication, no forward movement, and all this stuff, that clogged drain. We are coming out of that. But there's a need for whatever this cycle was to just end. All these burdens have to just be released, because a lot of I'm getting a feeling there's a tendency on either your part or your soulmate's part to bury this stuff. That's not good, Cancer. And Cancers have a tendency to be that. Cancers are very kind people, right? You have that flowy, watery energy, but you got that crab, that hard shell. And so there can be some passive aggressive energy, some real like sarcasm to try to cover up what's really going on, or also like a displacement of energy, sort of, oh, well, let me put the focus on all the bad things this person's done instead of talking about the bad things I've done. Okay, and that doesn't serve anybody. You know, we could all, I mean, that's human nature in society. That's what we all do. We all want to gossip about everybody else and their problems and their faults. Why? Because we don't want to take time and think about our own. But you know, you're not going to grow from that. You're not going to heal from that. And you're not going to help this relationship move into a better place by doing that. This is a time to really hold the mirror up. And I know I feel like a broken record sometimes when I say these things, but when it comes through this strong, you got to say it. Cancer, soulmate of Cancer in this case, hold the mirror up to yourself. Stop focusing on your Cancer soulmate or vice versa. Focus on yourself. You've got to deal with this, okay? Yeah, there's a lot of heartbreak and a lot of unfulfilled dreams, but it's just as much your fault as anybody else's. Even if it's only your fault because you trusted someone you shouldn't have. Learn to listen to your intuition, guys. Learn to listen to it, and you won't get to that place. You won't have that happening, okay? So just be aware of that. You've also got the Wheel of Fortune here. So not only is this thing coming to an end with the Ten of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune upright is telling me things are going to start moving well, right? Again, much like Taurus, the reading I just did, and I'm sorry, again, let me say this. I'm sorry that I did a second reading for Taurus before doing yours, but when I came home, they were on my heart. Like, I have to go with what I feel. So you do have energy of something shifting in a very good way. Soulmate of Cancer, you've also got the Star card here. That's Aquarius. That's Aquarius in their element, right? Being able to sort of bear the water and also have a certain level of clinical detachment. Okay, so it's very important to see that. Now, that flamingo that you see there, and you see the water kind of flowing on both sides of it, what that represents to me is there's a need for sort of an escape. There's a tendency to want to escape reality, Cancer and soulmate of Cancer, but there's also a need to escape it, at least a little bit. So I would say if you're able to afford it financially, you need to plan a vacation in the next couple of weeks, just a getaway somewhere special. And I also think that it's important to, there's some sexual energy. I mean, that's really what I'm seeing. There's like this phallic symbol. And so there's a need to kind of, and that's not just sexual. Let me back that up a little bit, because I'm getting more to that. What it's about is there's a need to really tap into what excites you, tap into what makes you feel alive and what makes you feel creative. Because a lot of times when you see a phallic symbol, at least for me as a reader, it's not actually about sex. It's about that fertilizing energy, that energy of creation, that energy of expansion. And so I think it's really important, Cancer and soulmate of Cancer, that you've got to shift the focus to creativity, creation, and where your excitement lies, as opposed to all of this energy of like, oh, negative fault, other people's faults, not on me. There's a lot of energy of blaming, and like, we're all to blame. None of us are to blame, and we're all to blame. There's no one-sidedness to our human nature, our sort of fallen nature, if you will. The goal is to heal, and the goal is to forgive, and the goal is to find true acceptance and love. And like I was saying in the Taurus reading, can you love someone at their worst? It's easy to love someone at their best. You don't get a prize for that. Can you love someone at their worst? Beginning with yourself. It's not easy. Trust me. I've been through some deep inner work on that. It's not easy, but you know what? It's very rewarding when you learn to do that. You have to start affirming that about yourself. I'm lovable. I'm worthy. Why? Because I'm here and I'm breathing. I'm worthy of love. What's Cancer doing in March? Show me Cancer in the month of March. Whoa, they're flying, Cancer. You got the Ace of Cups. So you've got a new beginning in love coming here. But I'm telling you, I get the feeling a lot of this love starts with yourself. There's a, you know, as cliched as that may sound, there's this real need for acknowledging and seeing the worst of yourself and loving that person. The Wheel of Fortune, again, on your side, Cancer, is here as a subtext, that overall writing energy. Behind that is the Three of Swords. So Cancer, what does that mean? That means you're coming out of this heartbroken energy. There has been heartbreak here. Okay, Cancer, we know that. We can acknowledge that there's been heartbreak here, and we can acknowledge that you're moving on from that. And as you move on from that heartbreak, you're moving into a really nice creation energy. And it's like it's time to start something beautiful and new. Again, the Ace of Cups is here. You've got the Devil in reverse. That's Capricorn energy. This is about breaking away from toxicity. A lot of this toxicity feels like it has to do, it's a gossipy energy. And I don't mean like playing the game of telephone. When I say gossipy, it's not that type of gossipy. It's a gossipy energy in the sense that it's time to stop talking about other people. Stop talking about other people's faults. Start talking about our own faults, okay? We've got to stop this energy of distracting from our own faults by talking about other people and their faults. Even if you're talking about your soulmate, stop looking at what they need to heal. That's their problem. What do you need to heal? That's the only way to get through this game called life. You can't put it on other people. It's only about you and your healing. And it looks like you're doing a good job here. You're starting to get it. You're just opening up this plethora of abundance that comes from, it's like to get to this beautiful promised land, you have to walk through a muddy ditch. The muddy ditch is the shadow work of learning to love yourself, having accepted after acknowledging your faults. And that's what this breaking away is, and that's what the moon is. And that's when the Magician energy comes in with the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Cups, all of this new beginning stuff, this love, this truth that comes through, this clarity that comes through with this overwhelming love. And it comes through because you bring it in. The Magician is the master manifester. He's got all the tools, right? He knows how to do it. But how does he do it? He has to learn first to accept himself. You've got to get through all this. The moon is about what's in your heart. What's these heart's desires that are so deep, that are sort of hidden. And it's saying, okay, I've broken free from this toxicity. I've stopped judging others, because when you judge others, you're actually only judging yourself. And I know that doesn't, a lot of these things sound cliche, but they're very true. They're very sensible. You just have to research and see what it actually means. You're taking the focus off of you, and now you're going to take that back and say, you know what? It doesn't actually make me feel good to judge other people. It doesn't actually make me feel good to talk about other people and put the blame on them, because ultimately all that's doing is avoiding the issue. And as we focus on the issue, that allows us to, because you can't go after your heart's desire, and you certainly can't achieve your true heart's desire when you haven't healed deep within. So there's a lot of healing energy here with the moon. This is the Cancer energy here. Okay, this is that energy of, and there's the yin and yang. You can see the fish, the yin and yang, the strong Pisces energy here. As we move into this Sun in Pisces season, it's a great time to really focus on your dreams. I feel like a lot of this has to do with dreams. And I don't mean like your nocturnal self. I mean dreams, like your hopes, your dreams. The things you share with the people you're the closest to in your heart, the things like you have if you have a close friend that you sit up. I remember the person I consider to be my twin soul. We used to sit up sometimes till 2, 3, 4 in the morning, texting, just talking about our dreams. Like, oh, I want to do this, and I want to go here, and I want to do this, and I want to do that. You've got to not only talk about those things, but identify those things and how you're going to bring them in and pursue them. It's time to really open up to those things, but you can't really do that, not in the most pure and real and successful way, until we start what? Healing what's damaged within us deep inside, right? And that comes from recognizing, like I was saying the other night, it's just as important to recognize who you don't want to be as it is to recognize who you do want to be. You know, a lot of times the problems we have in our closest relationships, they're there to show us who we don't want to be just as much as they're there to show us who we do want to be. I know I can speak for myself and say I learned a lot in the last year about who I didn't want to be. Okay. I don't want to be a person who relapses and seeks substances to avoid my spiritual connection to the other side or my traumatic relationships. I don't want to be that person who looks for an escape from my connection to source and my connection to messages. I know, and those of you who are empathic and intuitive or who are very psychic know, it can sometimes be scary giving in to your abilities, right? It's a scary thing. It's sometimes very uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to feel. Because, I mean, you go to a psychiatrist, they ask you, do you hear voices? Well, if you're someone who has certain gifts, you probably could hear voices. I don't hear voices. I'm not clairaudient, but I feel things that I don't think other people feel. Because we're not all walking around like with our hearts bleeding outside of our bodies. And that's sometimes how I feel. Like my heart is outside of my body bleeding. And it's because of the connection to people and to things that are going on. What you've got to do is part of this breaking away from toxicity here, Cancer, is that comes naturally for you. Cancer, you have a natural empathic ability, okay? And and you need to be careful about letting people run over you, letting people to drain your energy, vamp your energy, and then move on. There's a lot of people who are empathic will get taken advantage of. People will use you, and then the minute you're not living up to what they want or need from you, they're gone. And so you need to be careful with that. You're breaking away from this toxicity of sort of letting, you said letting someone run over you. Don't do that. But don't run over yourself either, because you have a tendency here, Cancer, to run over yourself. There's a lot of healing here, but it has to start with you going after your dreams, pursuing your dreams. That's that yin and yang, the fishies. They're talking to me inside the moon about your true heart's desires, what you truly want and desire, and how you're going to bring that in. You've got the power to do it. This card is a message from Spirit. It's a major arcana, the Magician, and it's all about the fact that you have the ability to get what you want. That's great news. That's great news. You have the ability to get what you want. No matter how out there it may seem, you have the ability to get it. Do you believe in miracles? Ask yourself, do I believe in miracles? Because it's right here. You have the ability. You've got the Ace of Cups. You've got the Ace of Swords. That's a new beginning in love. It's overflowing love. It's more love than your heart can even handle. And you have the ability to bring that in, and to bring that in a very swift, communicative, and real way. And you're going to be the sort of the holder of that energy, just like that phallic energy, which you can kind of see here with the sword, is about the creator or the fertilizing. The other side of that is the energy of the womb that holds that energy. And you can see that in here as well if you look closely. Okay? And so both of those together represent, it's all about creation, growth, expansion, and then something new being born. And that's what you're doing. That's what we're all doing here as we usher in the age of Aquarius. Right now, though, with the sun in Pisces, it's such an important time to not only get in touch with those dreams, but affect those dreams in a positive way. But it all starts with the same thing it's always started with, and that's healing the deep wounds inside. So shift the focus away from other people, guys. There's a strong energy of someone wanting to spend way too much time judging other people, being hard on other people. That does none of us any good. We've got to shift it into ourselves, because you know what? It's all about letting he who is without fault cast the first stone, and that would not be me. I can tell you that. I don't know about you. I'll let you guys speak for yourselves, but that would not be me. I won't be casting any stones because I am certainly not without fault. Let's pull an Archangel card and see what you get here as far as... This is really to talk to you about what guidance you're being told to pull in, what angel you should be connecting to for the month of March, and what energy they can help you heal. I hope this reading resonated with you guys a little bit and gave you some good information. If you would like to book a more personalized reading, 30-minute or 1 hours are available. The information is in the description of the video here. And the payment apps are available as well. You would just send payment for the 30 or 1 hour, and in the notes section or for section of your payment, put your contact information, email, phone number, whatever you want to put, so we can contact you to schedule a reading or to get information to do a recorded for you, whichever you prefer. All right, so you've got Archangel Uriel and the energy of abundance. Now behind that, you've got Raziel and intuition in reverse. So before you can bring this in, I'm getting a message. You've really got to get that intuition opened up. Go back to your trusted modalities. Go back to your trusted rituals, whatever helps you to open your intuition up so that you can trust the message. And then once you've done that in your meditation, bring in Archangel Uriel and ask for assistance in trusting that abundance is coming in and learning how to shift your attitude from one of pessimism and lack to one of abundance and overflowing positivity and good things. You really have to do that. And you have to do it on a daily basis. It's not something that you can do sporadically or be hit or miss about. This is one thing that really requires consistency along with patience and trust. You got to keep bringing it in. Sorry, I'm holding it the wrong way. Uriel, abundance, Uriel, abundance. Don't forget that, guys. This is good stuff, and I really love it for you. So I hope the month of March is beautiful for you guys, Cancer and soulmate of Cancer, and I wish you guys a lovely rest of the month and rest of your week. If you would like to do not only for the private readings, but if you would like to take part on Wednesday night, hump day, we're going to be live at 9 o'clock here, Eastern Standard Time, doing mini readings. So hopefully you can join us then. See you guys later. Have a